Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Curran's Curran View, with the Ord of Hillsborough, Mr. Terry Curran. Steady away, son. What kind of week you had?
Well, went to watch football, Sheffield Wednesday, which got 3 points from you Birmingham, but I thought we were a bit lucky.
Yep.
And I mentioned that last week. Then we got another great result last Saturday against Millwall.
Yes, they're
And
struggling.
I'm going on Saturday to watch against Bristol City. So it's been a very satisfying week.
Arguably the toughest game that you've faced recently.
And by the way, I told you would beat, was it Blackburn? Who did you beat the other day at home?
We certainly beat
Sunderland.
Blackburn, and then we beat Sunderland. We had a good back-to-back home win. And, best wishes to Tony Mowbray. We don't know what's happened, but he's had to take a back seat at the moment while there's one or two situations that he's sorting out regarding his health. So all the best to Tony Mowbray. And while we're
What's
talking...
going off, and to Roy Hodgson as well.
Absolutely. We did say that on the podcast last week that we did feel that he would step down because there has been a load of, it's not a secret, it's football's worst kept secret that he's going to be sacked.
As he stepped down, they'll make it out that he stepped down. I wouldn't.
Well, absolutely. I mean, they would just come to some kind of mutual agreement and Roy will agree to step down, but I bet he's absolutely seething inside the way he's been treated. Michael Beale has also been sacked. The Millwall manager has been sacked. There's been quite a few sackings this week. It doesn't get any better to be a football manager.
Well, I just want to remind you and Tom telling me this Michael Beale was going to be a top manager.
No. I have never said that about Michael Beale. I don't like him. I've never liked Michael Beale. There's something about him I just do not like. But apparently...
I couldn't believe that Wolves wanted him.
No, I couldn't either.
After what?
They dodged a bullet there, didn't
games, whatever it was.
Yeah. Dodged a bullet, didn't they? Wolves have got a great young manager in Gary O'Neill. I do like Gary O'Neill.
Yes, fantastic.
But while we're talking about Beale, apparently he had a Twitter account, didn't he? So he was like backing himself up on this other Twitter account, and they traced the IP address, and they traced it back to Michael Beale. So I think he was the only one that was talking himself up. And it's now been deleted and he's looking for a new job. I think he's going to be lucky getting a new gig because he failed at Rangers, he's failed at Sunderland.
But what I will say about Sunderland, I mean, he has not been given time.
No, he hasn't.
Like him or not.
I agree. I totally agree. But managers don't these days, T. You get a few months, you get a run of 14, 15 games, and that's it.
The only good thing about it, and I do not like saying this, because at the end of the day, it makes the fans angry.
Yeah,
what's going off, in football. He does get a decent payout because it all depends what contract he's got. Whether he's got to get paid weekly or monthly.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, what they do, especially not the bigger clubs. When I say not the bigger clubs, I'm talking about the giants in the Premier League, what can pay someone up within a go. But even Jose Mourinho, his last move at Chelsea, when he got sacked, couldn't take a job for 12 months. So, if you sack somebody, he should be able to go and work somewhere else. You've employed him, you sacked him, pay him up, and you're stopping somebody getting another job.
I couldn't agree with you anymore, T, because I know that the fans don't like to hear it, but if you've gone in, who's your choice? I mean, Cloughie always used to say this, didn't they? They want to be looking at the people that's employed the failed managers, not the failed manager. And if you're going to be given someone who's your choice, a 3-year contract or more, and you then sack them after 17 games, then I think they're within their right to... have compensation for the loss of earnings.
The only time I have seen where the fans had a choice with helping select the manager, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, they do go and support that team or that club, week in and week out. But it weren't a club team; it was Teddy Venables.
Yeah.
They put it out to the fans. Venables got the job, and they finish up sacking him.
Yeah.
And come very close to winning, a European Championship.
Yeah. I was always of the opinion that fan input is vital, and yeah, of course, listen to your fans. I used to like the idea of having a fan on the board and all the rest of it. Your trust that you have with the fans' engagement and that. But from what I've seen, I'm not too enamoured about it now. I think you employ people to run your football club. The fans are there to support that football club. Of course, voice your opinions, but you're employing people to make these decisions, and I think that they should be making them. But you do need people there, run your football club, that actually
Cup of tea,
understand
love.
and know it.
Cup of coffee, love.
She looks after you, that young girl
She
does,
looks after
Janet,
me,
don't
Gabby,
she?
you're right.
Aye. No trifle or anything, or cream cakes or donuts this week, T?
She's nipping up to the shop to get me a trifle. She asked me if I wanted one.
Fantastic. I might shout down and see if Sam will do that for me. I know what the answer will be. Magic Moments, T, what have you sourced for us this week,
Well, I've
mate?
gone for something different this week. And again, as we say every week, there's that many unbelievable goals. It's untrue, and I've seen some great goals this week. But I've gone for Holland, the guy at Man United.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Instinctive reaction.
Ireland. Yeah.
His instinctive reaction, not only to turn his chest, but to direct it into the goal.
Yeah.
It's something different. Is it the best goal I've seen? No. But it was a brilliant, instinctive decision. And, he scored. And to be honest, United are looking something like again, aren't they? I'm still not saying they're brilliant, but they're starting to look alike. Something like.
When they went 2-0 up, I thought, blimey, this could be 5 or 6. I mean, as it turned out, it wasn't. Hoyland does look as though he's turning that form that he's had, because he's always played well. I mean, he's always done his best, and you look at him, you think he does look a player, but he's now finding the back of the net, and that's going to give him confidence. So
Gabby,
it's only good for Man United.
Listen, the thing about football.
Yeah.
The thing about Man United.
Yep.
And this is praising Man United. This is what people should look at.
Mm-hmm.
Souness was absolutely an unbelievable player and did okay as a manager. Never did spectacular, but he did okay in management. Mm-hmm. He criticises Drogba, and rightly so, because he's entitled to his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But what baffles me with it all is...
Do we mean Pogba?
Pogba, what did I say then?
Drogba.
Did I?
Yeah, Pogba. Yeah.
Pogba. In Juventus team, he looks a superstar.
Yep.
In the national team, he looks a superstar.
Yep.
When Man United were winning everything, they all look superstars.
Mm.
Right? One player can't cannot make a team win titles and championships.
Yep.
European Cups, FA Cups.
Mm-hmm.
What he can do is make a difference to a football team. And sometimes certain players get criticised when the team is not playing well. And Man United is not playing well.
Yeah.
Chelsea are hit and miss, yet they spent millions of pounds.
Mm.
Right? So, for me, when they look at these type of players and they're criticising them, one, let's give them a chance, because it's easy to play in a good team. I keep telling people that. Mm. Secondly, when it's a foreign player, what I will give them that benefit of doubt is because we are the worst travellers in the world.
Yeah.
They come over here and vast majority of them succeed. There is the odd few, maybe 10%, 15%, what struggle. But different food, different climate, different this and different that.
Mm.
Let's give them a chance when these players come over, right? And to say, Man United, so they should go and win everything. Nobody's got a divine right to win everything.
Yeah.
And Luke tonight have had some great results. Get beat by Sheffield United. Then they get beat by Man United. They're winning 1-0 tonight at Liverpool.
It's incredible. Football is such a funny old game,
football
isn't it?
is crazy, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And that's why we love it so much. But again, going back to Hoyland, he has hit the back of the net. He is up and running now. And United do look a different beast. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't get fourth spot this season. I'm not saying that they're going to, but what I'm saying is
There's a chance, Gabby,
they've
now.
got a wonderful chance. And you know yourself, T, that when you're in the dressing room and you're playing against Man United at Old Trafford, there are some players that fear that and their name precedes them. They're not the Man United of old, but if you're playing against a Man United or a
Well, there's
other team,
75,000 people there.
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
if they get an early goal,
Yep.
you know, it can put fear into other teams and the opposition.
Yeah, so I wouldn't
Right?
be at all surprised if they didn't finish fourth.
When you look at Ireland now,
Yep.
it looks a completely different player. It looks as though he's got pace, he's got strength, and like we both just said, he's scoring goals.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
How
Again,
quickly it can turn.
Confidence, too, momentum, and United have got that. So watch this space and let's see. I hope
Jenna's got confidence to make me a coffee.
Hope she's got a few quid to get down that shop and get you some buns as well. My magic moments, Paris Magoma, his goal for Bolton.
Brilliant.
Again, was superb, wasn't it? It had a touch of the Tony Curry's, didn't it? 75,
we have seen that
United.
Many great goals this week again, it's untrue.
I know. I just look and I keep posting these up. You can't pick them all, but I did look at that and I thought, that is magnificent. I also loved Darwin Núñez, his goal against Brentford.
Listen, by the way, that's one of the most difficult finishes.
Yep. Did you hear Michael Owen?
I'm watching it, and I'm saying, go round him, because I would have gone round him.
That's what Michael would have done as well.
To do what he did,
yeah,
was unbelievable, because it's tight. He's got to get it up, over, and down.
Michael Owen was talking through what he would have done, or what Núñez's options were when he received that ball from Diogo Jota. So he talked us through, and he was saying, many of these options, 6 out of 10 you're going to score, maybe a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. What he did is maybe at best 2 out of 10. It was unbelievable. He said, I wouldn't have done that, but
do you know why Owen would have done that?
Because he's a great goal scorer.
Pace.
Yeah.
Pace. Like all players like him, what's got pace, he would have gone round the goalkeeper.
And he also said he may have
8, 9 times out of 10 he would have done that. Because Darwin Núñez hasn't got all that blistering pace.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he'd done it. I'm thinking,
no.
And then when he done it, I'm thinking, what a goal! How have you done that?
Yeah, it was fantastic. And as I say, Michael said I'd have probably drawn the goalkeeper in a little bit, given the eyes, sat him down,
doing that,
and then chipped off.
It takes some bottle to do it,
Absolutely. I mean, superb. So well done to Darwin Núñez. And Gabriel Sara's free kick goal for Norwich City against Cardiff. I mean, what a goal. Fantastic. I mean, I don't usually have free kicks because, although they're brilliant, I do like to have that bit of skill.
Absolutely sublime goals over the games this past week.
Absolutely.
Whether it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And we do keep posting them up on the Curran View, on the group, those magic moments, #magic moments. And there are so many. Football gives us so many brilliant magic moments, and we love sharing them on the group and talking about them at the top of the show. Book Corner, TC. Our book of the month, Brian Moore Saved Our Sundays, The Golden Age of Televised Football by Matt Eastley. It comes out on the 20th of May, so just at the end of the football season, $14.99 by Pitch Publishing. And the latest edition of Backpass magazine has arrived today, issue number 88. And Matt's got a brilliant piece about Alvechurch. He's talking to Jim Rosenthal, and Jim's talking him through the game between Alvechurch and Oxford City in 1971, and it's a fabulous piece. And we will be cutting a podcast with Matt, because when we have our book of the month, we do go back and we talk to the author, to the writer, about the book, just as we did in January when I cut a podcast with Gary Thacker with his fantastic book Ojo Go Bonito. But Alvechurch versus Oxford City, I mean, what a game. The FA Cup used to have fantastic replays and double replays, treble replays. And in this game, the first one was Saturday, November the 6th, Alvechurch 2, Oxford City 2. And it finished on Monday, November the 22nd at Villa Park, Alvechurch 1, Oxford City 0. So they went on the first game. Then they played on the Tuesday night, November the 9th, which was the replay. Then they had another replay, which was at St Andrews on Monday the 15th. Then on Wednesday the 17th, they had another replay. And then on Saturday, November the 20th, they had another replay. I mean, that's what the FA Cup was all about back then, wasn't it? Sadly not now.
Yeah, and when you just said that, someone was posted up on Facebook, and so where Rotherham played Frickley Athletic in the FA Cup.
Right.
My old captain will play for Rotherham, Mick Pickering. And Paul Shirtley, who's passed away now, God rest his soul. He was a young lad, which is Pete Shirtley's brother. Both played for Sheffield Wednesday. I think both went on to play for Barnes. I'm sure they did. But you're right. The FA Cup gives us all great memories. It just doesn't have the bite it used to have, or the sparkle what we when we were kids got out of it.
Absolutely. And also as well, there's a fantastic piece about Newcastle United, their wonderful encounter with Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
And it's written here by Alan Paul, Looney Tune. Remember the crowd trouble at Newcastle? There are people on the pitch, they think it's all over. I mean, literally, they were.
Weren't Forest 2-0 up or something, and then something happened, didn't it?
Forest were 2-0 up, and then Newcastle got a goal back. Then Forest were on the
crowd invasion, weren't they?
Well, what happened? I mean, I cut a podcast with Pat Howard, who pretty much caused the riot that day. And Duncan McKenzie, as Pat said, Duncan McKenzie run into one of our defenders, and the referee gave a penalty. So Pat said, "That's never a penalty, ref." And he said, "Well, I'm giving it." He says, "Ref, it's never a penalty." And he says, "If you don't shut up, I'll send you off." And Pat said, "You send me off and you'll have a riot on your hands." And he said, "That's enough." So he gave him the red card and he sent him off. Well, sure, Pat was absolutely right. There was a riot. The Newcastle fans come on, the players went off. And then when they come back, 10 men Newcastle scored 3 times and beat Forest 4-3. Forest wasn't happy. They went to the FA and appealed the result. They got it overturned, and then they played 2 games at Goodison Park, where really it should have gone to the City Ground. But Newcastle knocked them out with a Malcolm McDonald winner in the second replayed game. But there's a wonderful piece here, Looney Tune, by Alan Paul. And there's a great picture here.
Looney Tune.
I mean, it is, honestly. It's got it. There's a great picture. It's got, I printed right, Nottingham Forest striker Neil Martin and Newcastle United's Frank Clark watching amazement as a crowd invades the pitch. And I tell you what, there are thousands on there. And that is an iconic picture. It's a great picture. And of course, Frank then went to play for Nottingham Forest under Brian Clough. But we have done a podcast, so it's on there. Access your podcasts on all your usual outlets. And in the latest issue of Backpass. There's a wonderful piece by Alan Paul. So that is Matt Eastley's book. Brian Moore, again, a great commentator, wasn't he? And that really is going to be an enjoyable read because, you know, our Sundays were with, in our area, Star Soccer, in the Granada area or the Yorkshire area, the big
Yeah,
match in London.
big.
And I just think that they were special match highlight games. It was really the ITV equivalent to Match of the Day, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was. We had Martin Tyler up our end,
Oh, okay. And
Yorkshire Television. Yeah,
of course, Martin went on to have a great career at
with
Sky
the
TV, didn't he?
BBC Match of the Day. Yeah.
Yeah, so yep, I'll be catching up with Matt, and he has done a wonderful piece in the latest issue of Backpass magazine. Too Good to Be Forgotten: Three Wise Men from Football's Golden Era by Ben Dobson. Also promises to be a great read, out by Pitch Publishing. And thirdly, in the trio, winner stays on: England with the FA Cup for a compass by R.M. Clark. So 3 books there in our book corner. One touching on the FA Cup, and Too Good to Be Forgotten, about 3 great English managers of the golden age. More about that in March, because Too Good to Be Forgotten, TC, is going to be our book of the month for March, so we'll get our teeth more into that next month. Favourite kits, T? I mean, we talked when I interviewed the great Don Rogers about Malcolm Allison going in at Crystal Palace. He changed everything, the nickname, he changed the kits. They had that iconic kit. Luton Town with David Moss, they had that wonderful iconic kit as well. And Kitch, many happy returns, Kitch. Kitch was another year younger last week. And Kitch had that wonderful iconic kit with Luton Town as well. There's some great kits of the past. What's your favourite, T?
My favourite strip is the Sheffield Wednesday striped.
Yeah.
The Bukta shirt. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Bukta.
That was the one that you played in, wasn't it?
But I did like we only played in it a couple of times. I
Okay.
did like we had an all white strip. I did like that.
Did you play in that one against Wimbledon? That's the one
Yes,
that you've got. What? Go back and remind
at
me.
Wimbledon. That's at Wimbledon.
Yeah. You know that the picture on your Facebook page when you're looking at something. What is it again that you
I
were
weren't
looking
looking
at?
at something. What I'd done, I'd sprained my either finger or my thumb, one of them,
Right, got
and
ya.
it had been strapped up. Anyway, I would gain some pain from it, so that's what I was looking at.
Oh, right.
Trying to, the plaster what they put round.
Yeah.
I was twiddling that. That's what it was.
Mind you, you was twiddling other things after the Wimbledon game as well, wasn't you?
Before,
Oh, before the game. But we're not going to get into that. How many times did you wear that white kit?
I think a couple of times.
Okay, yeah.
A couple of times, yeah.
Was that Sheffield Wednesday? Was it a different away kit? Because
We
that's
used
not
to
traditionally.
wear a yellow with a blue collar,
Yeah. Yeah.
and blue shorts.
Because they,
Light blue shorts.
going back to the
So
60s,
I
was.
think we wore that white strip to Oxford. I think, I'm not sure, but I
Yeah.
know we wore it at Wimbledon.
Yeah. But going back to the 60s, was that traditionally that kit that you
Yeah, they used to wear that white kit. Yeah,
got? Yeah.
in
So it
fact,
was
I'm sure they wore that white kit at Wembley against
Yeah, I've got
Everton.
no idea when Jim McCalliog scored that goal and jumped as high as me house that they did wear that white kit. But football clubs tend to have an old away kit, but these days the colours all change, and sometimes there's no link to the away kit and colour that a football club wears these days. It seems as
Well,
though
the
it's more.
fashion icons now, aren't they, for
Absolutely.
football
I
strips?
was going to say it was more to do what goes with a pair of jeans than what their traditional away kit is. But the League Cup final, TC, is on Sunday. Chelsea versus Liverpool.
Liverpool,
How do you see that going? Liverpool have got a few injuries. It wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea didn't win that game.
Chelsea. When I watched them against Aston Villa, and that's the best I've seen them play.
Mm,
And then I watched them against Crystal Palace. Yes, they won,
yeah.
but I thought they were just an average. They looked an average team.
Yes.
But they're one of those teams on the day
Yeah.
are as good as anyone. But
Mm,
when they do play the top teams, they do get a bit of consistency into it.
yeah.
You know, I'm going to go with the Chelsea win because of I think Liverpool just might be ready for now hitting that little bit of a blip.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was Klopp announcing that he, is retiring at the end of the season, and that's still baffling. That there's more to come out about that.
I agree.
Than him saying that he wants to rest and wants to do that. I'll guarantee you one thing: he'll be back into football within 6 months.
He might be back into football a little bit early because Tuchel's
Well,
leaving Bayern Munich. So, I mean, who knows what's going on? It is a funny old game. And
strange thing, though, he's buying an house, having an house built in Spain, isn't he?
I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a job there at Barcelona, isn't there?
Yeah,
So,
well, he's retiring at the end of the season. Is not Xavi? Is it
Xavi, yeah.
Iniesta?
Yeah, no, Xavi's leaving,
Xavi.
You know.
See, and would you think, maybe not have bothered, would you think he would take the Bayern job, even though it's the biggest club in Germany and one of the big clubs in Europe, when he's managed Dortmund and he got that adulation, legend status
I know what you're saying.
for what he achieved at Dortmund? I'm not sure.
But again,
I get where you're coming from with that.
I mean, Michael Owen said in the podcast with Gary Neville, didn't he? He'd walk to Man City to coach under Pep Guardiola. I think that if you're a football person and you'll get a job wherever.
You don't have to copy him, but you learn from him.
Absolutely, yeah. So, when people say, well, I wouldn't go and sign for that team, well, I'm not so certain. I know if you're a fan of a club,
That's the
and I
biggest
get
load of
that.
crap I've heard in my life.
Absolutely, too.
I know plenty of people what signed for Man United but did not like Man United, and other clubs came in for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd be stupid not to, wouldn't you? So when I listen to players and fans and when I say, oh, well, I wouldn't play for them because I'm a big fan. I get that if you're a fan of a club, you've got an allegiance, etc., etc.
It's a job.
But exactly. But if another club comes calling and it's your rivals, you're gonna go. I don't care who you are. You're gonna
the
go.
odd one. I mean, Matt Letizia, when you look at it,
yeah,
he could have gone to a couple of big clubs and he stayed.
Yes.
And I get that.
There was a time he could have
got. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Oh, he stayed there because he was a big fish. I don't get that one little bit.
No, not at all.
Because he produced unbelievable individual performers for Southampton.
Oh, great
who
player.
Was just an ordinary team.
Yeah, I mean a great player. But he almost went to Tottenham and it fell through, didn't it? I mean, what a player the great Matt Letizia was.
Did you watch Merson's interview about him?
No, I haven't seen it.
I'll not talk about it. Watch it, and then we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
if you get a chance, have a look at it.
And is that on the Jeff Stelling podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a good podcast with Jeff. So going back 50 years, League Cup winners, 1974, played on the 2nd of March. It was Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Manchester City 1. Kenny Ibbett and John Richards and Colin Bell scored for Manchester City. And while we're talking about Kenny, we've put him in the Legends Lounge this week. Kenny Ibbett, born on the 3rd of January 1951 in Bradford, went to Park Avenue, 67 to 68, played 15 games, went to Wolverhampton Wanderers in 68, stayed till 1984, 466 league games, scoring 89 league goals. He went on loan to Seattle in 82, and he had a great time in Seattle. I mean, a great time. Uddy absolutely loved Ibby, and Ibby did with Alan as well. They almost won everything that year. Played 14 times for Seattle, scoring 4 goals. Came back, went to Coventry City in 84 after a little bit of time back at Wolverhampton Wanderers, but things weren't very, very good at Wolves in the early 80s. So 84 to 86, Coventry City, 47 games, 4 goals, and finished his career at Bristol Rovers from 86 to 88, scoring 5 goals in 53 games. Went into football management, and we have done a podcast, Legends of the 70s podcast, with the great Kenny Ibbett, and also Forever a Sounder, when Kenny remembers 1982 in Seattle.
Well, did Wolves win it in 80 as well?
Sorry?
When Andy Gray, League Cup, did they win it in 80 as well?
Wolves did, yeah. Yeah, they did, yeah.
And to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRBmedia. Thank you.